Remember the last time you wanted to say no. Maybe to an employer asking you to stay late on a Friday night. Maybe to a client behaving disrespectfully. Or even to a partner when the relationship hit a dead end. You opened your mouth. The air got stuck in your throat. And you said yes. Why? Because your bank account was staring back at you with empty digits. Because you needed the next paycheck in 14 days. Because you had no choice. Poverty isn't just a lack of money. It's a state of mind that dictates when you breathe and when you freeze. Today, we aren't talking about investing in stocks or crypto. We're talking about the single asset that buys you freedom right now. $20,000. This isn't retirement. This isn't a house. This is the price of your ability to look anyone in the eye and tell the truth. If you don't have this amount, you are already losing money. Every single day. And now the question. What is the cost of one silent yes per year? Calculate it. We'll come back to that number in 10 minutes, and it will scare you. In America, the cult of survival is absolute. Hustle culture. Work more. Sleep less. Pick up a second shift. You're told that a financial safety net is for cowards. That real wolves live paycheck to paycheck because they are in the flow. This is a lie. A dangerous lie. When you live without a buffer, you aren't an entrepreneur. You aren't a strategist. You are a hostage to cash flow gaps. Your thinking narrows to a 30-day horizon. You can't plan for a year because you don't know how you'll pay rent next month. Psychologists call this the tunnel effect. When your brain is busy surviving, your functional IQ drops. You make worse decisions. You agree to a lower salary because you need it right now. You don't leave a toxic boss because the market is stormy right now. You think you're saving time by not building a reserve? Actually, you're buying yourself slavery on an installment plan. Look at the layoff statistics in the US over the last year. Thousands of people in tech, finance, retail. Those who had a reserve left with dignity, found a better spot within 3 months. Those who had zero accepted the first offer that came along, often with a lower salary than before. This is called desperation downshifting. And it doesn't start at the moment of firing. It starts the moment you decide that $20,000 is too much to save. But why 20,000? Why not 5? Why not 100? There is a specific mathematical reason that financial advisors stay silent about. My name is John. I'm not going to tell you about how I bought a Lamborghini at 20. That doesn't matter. What matters is that I've spent the last 10 years analyzing people's decisions at the intersection of psychology and money. I've seen talented professionals break because they had no room for error. And I've seen mediocrity skyrocket because they had the ability to take risks. I'm not here to pity you. I'm here to show you the mechanism you're ignoring. If you're ready to hear the unpleasant truth about your financial security, stay. If you're looking for a motivational fairy tale, close the video right now. Because next, we're moving on to exactly how cash turns into your salary. And this isn't magic. It's leverage. Let's break down a salary negotiation scenario. You walk into the employer's office. You know your market value. You know you're worth $100,000 a year. But you ask for $85,000. Why? Fear. Fear of rejection. Fear that the offer will be withdrawn. This fear has a price. The difference between $85,000 and $100,000 is $15,000 a year. Over 5 years, that's $75,000. Not counting compound interest and base growth. You lost $75,000 because you didn't have $20,000 in the account to allow yourself to walk away if they said no. This is the invisible tax on poverty. Wealthy people call this FU money. Sounds rough? Yes. But that's exactly the point. This is money that gives you the right to tell everything to go to hell if the conditions are unfair. When you have a cushion, your voice sounds different. The interviewer feels it. It's biology. When you aren't afraid of losing income tomorrow, your cortisol drops. You become more confident. You look like a leader. Employers don't pay for your skills. They pay for your confidence. And confidence is bought with cash. In the US, the labor market is at-will employment. You can be fired at any moment. Without cause. If you live without a cushion, you're walking a tightrope without a safety net. One draft, and you fall. When you have $20,000, that's about 3 to 4 months of living for most professionals. That's time to find the best place, not any place. Do you know the difference between an $80,000 salary and a $120,000 salary? Often it's not skills. It's that the person with $120,000 could afford to wait 3 months for the right offer, while the person with $80,000 agreed to the first one within 3 days. Think about your last 3 money-related decisions. How many were dictated by fear, and how many by strategy? If more than half were fear, you are already in the red. Lack of liquidity makes you aggressive or, worse, submissive. You can't invest in your education because all money goes to putting out fires. You can't start a side project because it doesn't bring money in the first month. You are stuck in a survival cycle. And the only way out is breaking the pattern. But the pattern holds on one thing, the illusion that you have time. Why am I talking about $20,000? Why not $5,000? $5,000 is 1 month. That's just a panic delay. If you get fired on Friday, $5,000 will calm you down until Tuesday. Then the fear returns. $20,000 is a psychological threshold. It's the amount that allows you to say, I cannot work for half a year, and my standard of living won't collapse. This changes your negotiation position from, please hire me, to, let's discuss if we are a good fit for each other. In psychology, there's a concept called BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Your best alternative to a deal. If you have no money, your alternative is hunger and homelessness. Your position is weak. If you have $20,000, your alternative is a calm job search, travel, learning. Your position is strong. And here is the cruelest fact, companies know this. HR managers and recruiters smell desperation from a mile away. They won't tell you this out loud, but they see who is ready to accept any conditions. When you have a reserve, you can go to more interviews. You can reject an offer that doesn't fit the culture. You can demand remote work, equity, bonuses. Let's do the math. Suppose a safety net allows you to reject one bad deal a year. A bad deal is a salary 15% below market. On a $100,000 salary, that's a $15,000 loss per year. Over a 10-year career, accounting for base growth, that's over $200,000 in missed opportunity. Are you ready to lose $200,000 over a decade to avoid saving $20,000 today? The math is relentless. These $20,000 don't work as a stock investment. They work as an investment in your personality. They buy you status. They buy you respect. In America, credit history is important, but cash reserve is more important. Credit is debt. Reserve is power. When you walk into a meeting and know you don't need to agree to this deal to survive, you radiate different energy. People feel when you are in need. And they use it. Always. Nothing is more attractive to business than a partner or employee who isn't critically dependent on them. Paradoxically, the less you need the job, the more they want to pay you. This is the law of supply and demand applied to your personality. You become a scarce resource because you aren't available for exploitation. Now for the most painful part. Time. You think, I'll start saving next month. When I get my bonus. When the kids grow up. Every day you live without this $20,000, you are paying a vulnerability tax. Imagine you get fired tonight. Tomorrow morning you wake up. What do you feel? Panic? Or calm? If you felt a stab in your stomach, you already lost money today. Because you made at least one decision out of fear in the last 24 hours. Time is not neutral. It works against you. Inflation eats purchasing power. But worse than inflation is career stagnation. While you save $5,000 a year, your colleague with a safety net takes risks, changes jobs, gets plus 20% to their salary with every jump. In 3 years, he will be earning $50,000 more than you. Not because he's smarter, but because he could afford to move. You couldn't. You were stuck. This is called the opportunity cost of safety. The cost of lacking security. Many are afraid to save money because inflation will eat it. That's an infantile argument. Yes, inflation will eat some of it. But lack of opportunity will eat everything. Are you afraid of losing the dollar's purchasing power? Are you not afraid of losing your life in a job you hate because you have no exit? The urgency here isn't about running and saving everything. The urgency is that every month without a cushion is a month where you are defenseless against the system. The US economy is cyclical. Recessions happen. Layoffs happen. When the storm starts, those with a boat sail. Those without, drown. You don't build the boat during the storm. You build it when the sun is shining. Is the sun shining now? Maybe. But the clouds are gathering. The question isn't whether a crisis will happen. The question is, where will you be when it does? On the deck or in the water? Don't wait for the perfect moment. It won't come. There will always be a reason to spend money. A new car. Repairs. A trip. If you don't prioritize your freedom now, life will force you to prioritize survival later. And the price will be higher. Enough theory. Here is the plan. It's not easy. But it's simple. 1. Leak audit. Today. Open your statements for the last 3 months. Find subscriptions you don't use. Take out food. Impulse buys. You'll be surprised where $500 a month disappears. That's $6,000 a year. 2. Aggressive selling. Look around. Clothes, tech, furniture. What haven't you used in a year? Sell it. Goal: get the first $2,000 quickly. This creates momentum. 3. Separate account. Don't keep this money on your main card. Open a high-yield savings account. 4 to 5% APY right now is better than 0. But mainly, make the transfer automatic. On payday. Pay yourself first. 4. Temporary austerity. For 6 months. Lower your standard of living. Yes, it hurts. Yes, friends won't understand. Tell them, I'm buying my freedom. In 6 months, you'll have the goal. Do not invest this money in risk. This isn't an investment portfolio. This is an insurance policy. It must be liquid. In the account. Available tomorrow morning. If you go into debt to create the appearance of wealth, you lose. A safety net is boring. It isn't glamorous. It's protection. If you can't save $1,000 a month, it means you spend more than you earn. Then the problem isn't the cushion. The problem is the lifestyle. Cut it. Move to a cheaper area. A simpler car. Fewer restaurants. You aren't buying things. You are buying the option to say no. What is more valuable to you? A new iPhone or the ability to quit at any moment? The choice defines your future. Start small. $100 today. Then $1,000. Then $5,000. When you see the first 1,000 in a separate account, you will feel the change. Breathing will become easier. This is a dopamine reward for discipline. In the end, money is frozen time. Your life is time. When you trade your time for money without insurance, you bet your life on every deal. $20,000 isn't just digits on a bank screen. It's your shield. It's your voice. It's your ability to look in the mirror and know you are the master of your fate, not a victim of circumstance. You have a choice. Continue living in fear of the next day. Or build a foundation that will withstand any storm. Time is ticking. It doesn't wait. If this video made you think, subscribe. Here we talk about reality, not fairy tales. Write one phrase in the comments, I start today. Anchor your intention publicly. Don't put life on hold. Create your freedom. Right now.